First you F around and then something happens after. I can never remember what the second step is, but there's some doctors who know because they were very anti-vax. They actually had a convention on November 6th called The Day the Earth Listened, organized by Dr. John Littell. That they went to. Now, Dr. John is notable for a few reasons as a doctor. First of all, he says that masks don't work, which is, I think, a new position for most doctors to take. He promotes ivermectin as a COVID-19 treatment, despite the fact that it hasn't been established to do anything in regard to that. So Dr. John Littell, as well as hundreds of other people, met up for a convention. And Dr. John Littell has now told the Daily Beast that 7 of the attendees have now tested positive for COVID-19 or had symptoms within days of the gathering. The Daily Beast reported that they were all doctors. One of those doctors is Dr. Bruce Boros, who said in a speech at the end of the conference, "I've been on ivermectin for 16 months. My wife and I have never felt healthier in my life. I've never been healthier, and no worm in my body has ever been unhealthier than after these 16 months." He's now very ill at home, which I think is a tragedy. I think that any of these people needlessly getting COVID is incredibly unfortunate. But this is their grift. Boros had told the conference he was mad at his 97-year-old father for getting the vaccine, saying his father had been brainwashed. He was 97. If he came within a country mile of COVID, he would die at that age. So yes, thank God that he got the vaccine. He was smart. The brainwashed people met at that conference, and some of them unfortunately are quite ill right now.
That's how it works. I mean, it's becoming a badge of honor, right? Aren't you supposed to get COVID so that you can prove how not harmful it is, because it's so harmful when you take the vaccine because they put a little bit of COVID in you, and then once COVID's in you, it's totally bad. But it's not bad because it doesn't kill. It doesn't matter. I'm a doctor. Masks aren't necessary. This is the grift. Again, it's just like we were talking about earlier. If you come at one particular thing from 4 different angles, your supporters don't know which one to glom onto, so they just choose whichever one fits their narrative at the moment to keep them paying you for the stupid things that you tell them to say. And of course, if you get COVID, oh my God, that doesn't disqualify you from having any kind of authority over this subject anymore. It just means now you're Superman.
I guess you get those superpowers. I don't want people to get COVID. I've had that position. Again, I'm not the octopus. I've had that position for some time. I wish more right wingers would sign on to it. By the way, really fast, new Yahoo poll shows 74% of Americans feel that their lives are at least somewhat normal again. That's probably good. Some of them are probably endangering themselves a little bit by prematurely thinking their lives can be totally normal. Only 71% say, 21% say very normal. 53% say somewhat normal. And I would say, I think, Jayar, I'd put myself in the somewhat normal.
I was literally gonna ask you where you fall on these percentages.
Well, where are you?
What's this? You are somewhat normal?
Very normal, somewhat normal, somewhat abnormal, very abnormal.
It's between somewhat normal and very normal for me, actually.
Okay.
Because I guess it depends on the degrees that you were going through at first. Like my parents were, I don't know if they still are. Sorry, you guys, if you guys are watching, they were washing the things that you get from the grocery store, right? I did that the first month, and I was like, yeah, okay, I think the packages are okay. That, and maybe that was just my laziness, honestly. And then especially once you get we get the information that, hey, that's like not very likely of a source to catch. I was like, okay, no, I could be lazier. Jesus, thank you. So things like that have got more normal. So that's where it falls. I guess it all depends on how severe your precautions were.
Totally. Yeah, that for me would have been a big change, the washing, because I never really washed fruits and vegetables. I just feel like, first of all, I don't eat them, but it just seems like an extra step. It's unnecessary.
Let's keep real. The fruits and vegetables still get washed. It's the bags of things that we were cleaning before.
I feel like, what are you trying to wash off? Nature? Come on, like that's just the natural world and pesticides.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.